Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of CWN Recap, WWE WrestleMania 37 Night 2, which took place live last night on Peacock and the WWE Network. To say I'm exhausted from watching wrestling over the past few days is an understatement. Still haven't gotten the chance to watch Impact Wrestling's Hardcore Justice yet, but I will sometime in the next couple days and get a recap out for that as well. But yeah, like I said, WrestleMania Night 2 took place last night, and it was, still the same sort of feelings. Great to see wrestling back on the air as far as like a real WrestleMania goes. So fans in attendance and following on Twitter and just seeing everybody happy down there and everything else. It was weird to see. I even commented to my wife about this, to see Green Guy not front and center last night. He was there, he was front row, but he was off to the left. I don't know if there was friends of his that were with him, or maybe he just couldn't get those front and center seats. But yeah, he was not front and center. And the reason I bring that up is because all of a sudden my wife goes, hey, look, there's that guy with a smiley face on his shirt. So I had to kind of explain. And when I went to SummerSlam a couple of years ago, he was front center. But yeah, I mean, wrestling's back as a whole with regards to WrestleMania, which was great over the past couple of days. We go into Monday Night Raw tonight, which will be interesting to see back in the Thunderdome, but it's not at the the baseball stadium anymore, Tropicana Field. It's now moving to I forget the name of it, but it's a unique name. But anyways, like I said, the recap show of WrestleMania 37 Night 2, and I you know what? I did the recap show yesterday for WrestleMania Night 1, and it just felt weird because I didn't have all my notes in front of me. And last night I was like, you know what? I'm going to take notes. I'm going to enjoy WrestleMania. I'm still going to take notes. I'm going to do a proper recap show here today. So that's what I'm going to do. The panel starts. So the kickoff starts 7 o'clock last night on social media, the WWE Network, as well as Peacock. And the panel was Kayla, JBL, King, Jerry the King Lawler, Booker T, as well as Peter Rosenberg once again. No canopy over them this time around, but there was weather issues last night once again. Night 1, they had a canopy over top of them, and you couldn't see anything behind them. Night 2, nothing, no canopy at all. So it was kind of cool. Intro of the panel by Kayla, and then they do a card rundown. Announced that Orton Fiend will begin Night 2, which was kind of cool there. Promo video for Orton versus Fiend. Panel shares their thoughts. Mid kickoff, we see a video package shown of Night 1. The panel discusses. It was absolutely awesome. They're praising Bad Bunny as well, including JBL, which is kind of cool. Promo video of the Raw Women's Championship. Panel discusses once again. Booker picks Raya Ripley, and it's the shucky ducky quack quack moment. So it's he got in there. I don't know if he did it Night 1, but he definitely did the shucky ducky quack quack moment for Night 2 there. Big E Apollo video promo show next. Panel discusses with Sonya Deville joining at this point. Then we get an Old Spice promo commercial featuring Night Panther, and I'm loving the Old Spice thing. I'm pretty sure he's an NXT wrestler, the guy who's the Old Spice guy. But I can't. Rick, I want to say his name's Rick something, but I could be wrong. I haven't gone and Googled it yet. But anyways, it's hilarious because Tozawa's in there, and obviously R-Truth's in the commercials as well. So I'm getting a kick of the Old Spice commercial there. Sami Zayn's Kevin Owens video package up next. Panel still with Sonya. They discussed that. Excuse me. And it was a 6-person panel. So they had, Night 1, they had basically Peter Rosenberg take off when Sonya Deville arrived. Night 2, Peter Rosenberg stayed, and Sonya Deville was part of it. So 6 people, and they made comments that they wish that Rosenberg had taken off, but whatever the case. And then we go to the main event video package, and the panel discusses. Main show takes place. America the Beautiful, sung by Ashlyn Kraft. WB roster is on stage. No announcement by Vince McMahon this time around. And then the video promo hits the cold open voice dude once again, as I put it. So the same opening as Night 1 featured there. And then the hosts arrive. Titus and Hogan. Hulk Hogan obviously are introduced, and they appear as pirates. So they're doing all the pirate talk. They're dressed up in the outfits. Twitter's going nuts at this point. A lot of memes out there today, but still it's great to see WrestleMania as WrestleMania. Match number 1. Previously announced, Orton taking on the Fiend. Fiend had Alexa Bliss with him. So Orton enters first, and then he tests the ramp for slippage, and it's all good. So he basically looks like he's trying to slip on purpose, and then basically said, no, it's all good. So he does that on his entrance, playing up probably with regards to Mandy Rose tripping. Green Guy is there. Posts and ring aprons are LED tonight, which they weren't in night one. So it's the bigger ring posts and then the LED electronics around the ring apron, the skirt there. Video package is shown. Alexa enters, winds a giant box ringside, and then a normal looking Fiend appears out of it, which was interesting. So the regular Fiend theme song, the mask, a newer mask. I don't know if it's any different from the last one, but it was the Fiend as the Fiend, not the burnt Fiend anymore. They refer to him as a restored Fiend with new upper gear. So the same bottoms, same face mask, same dreads coming out, braids coming out, so to speak. But the fact is he's got new gear up top. And then he jumps off this box, clotheslines Orton from the top of the box, which was kind of cool. Then he does a tribute to Luke Harper. I'm not sure how many people caught this, but I did. So all of a sudden he's sitting there in the middle of the ring, and he's got his arms outstretched, and they do a close-up with the camera, and then all of a sudden you hear the yeah underneath the mask, which was a cool tribute to Luke Harper there. It's a red light match, by the way, so that red light special, so to speak, has taken place. Orton to the outside, Fiend follows back inside, draping DDT, no effect on the Fiend at all. More Orton offense, another draping DDT. The Fiend is hurt at this point. Fiend recovery, body block attack. So he comes off the rope and hits Orton with his full body there. And then he misses a senton. So Orton with a third draping DDT. RKO set up, mandible claw, Sister Abigail set up. The ring post explode with fire. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So it's an enlightening opener, so to speak. And then all of a sudden, Alexa at this point, sitting on top of that wind-up box, starts bleeding black from the forehead, much like the Ultimate Warrior did back in the day. RKO from Orton, and then he gets the win. Orton leaves the ring quickly. Fiend and Bliss stare down. Lights go out. Lights come back on. Fiend and Bliss are gone. And Green Guy is not front row center tonight, but to the left. I mentioned that. So obviously I was, like I said, taking a lot of notes on Twitter, everything else, but it'd be interesting to see how the storyline goes with Alexa Bliss and the Fiend. Obviously she seemingly turned her back on him last night, so I'm not sure what that's about. Backstage, we go to Titus Hogan, Bischoff, so Eric Bischoff and Bayley. Note on Eric Bischoff, apparently him and Charles Robinson have never had a photo together up until yesterday, which was kind of cool. So Little Nate and Bischoff finally get their photo together, but Bayley's being Bayley backstage, annoying them. Titus goes and puts the pirate hat on her as he leaves the segment, and she's kind of sitting there just with the pirate hat on, looking frustrated, slams it down. That's the end of that there. Match number 2 of the night, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Natalya and Tamina out first. The heels with more makeup than normal. So Shayna has very dark eyes going on. And then Nia Jax has some kind of face makeup going on with kind of jewels, sparkles going on there. Natalya and Shayna start. Cole references the anvil early on, which was cool. Nia tagged in once Tamina gets her. Back and forth, Natalya tagged back in. Faces capitalized. Huge knee by Shayna on Natalya. You've probably seen, if you've been on Twitter at all, you've probably seen what kind of effect that had on Natalya. She said her teeth were fine today, but her lip was busted. But yeah, that knee looked huge. Tamina and Nia brawling on the ringside, so there's no opportunity for Natalya to tag. Heels on the offense, Tamina still down and out on the outside. Natalya with small offense with a discus clothesline. Spinebuster on Natalya by Nia. Pin broken up finally by Tamina there. So hot tag to Tamina. Clutch attempt by Shayna. Samoan drop by Tamina. Splash attempt by Tamina. Blocked. And then we get a tag to Nia, double cross body on both Tamina and Natalya for a 2 count. So basically Nia Jax comes off I think it was the second rope, and hits a cross body on both of them at the same time. It looked tremendous there. Nia Tamina battle, Nia melting off. Tamina knocks her in the face and then slams her for a 2 count. Tamina had been trying to body slam Nia Jax the whole entire match, so it was interesting to see, her finally get the slam. It wasn't the greatest slam in the world, but it was a slam. Tamina superfly splash. She misses though. Tag to Natalya, tag to Shayna. Natalya knocks Shayna outside. Sharpshooter on Nia. Shayna recovers. So they're playing this up. So basically, Natalya knows. Well, I don't know if she doesn't know, but the announcers know that basically Nia is not the legal woman in the ring. But Natalya locks Like I said, she knocks Shayna outside and gets the sharpshooter on Nia Jax there. Shayna recovers, clutch on Natalya. Natalya passes out, so it doesn't tap. It passes out, and then ends still. And then the match ends with the champ celebrating outside the ring there. WWE 2K22 video shown. I caught it this time. Night 1, I do not remember at all, but I'd already seen the video, but night 2, obviously I caught it there. Match number 3 of the night, the Canadians going at it here. So Kevin Owens taking on Sami Zayn. JBL on commentary. Sami comes out first, introduces his special guest of honor, Logan Paul. Mixed reactions from the fans. Sami's dancing in the ring with his ring gear this time, not the suit. But I love that meme from last Friday, by the way, with regards to Sami and the suit and the dance. It's hilarious. Mixed reaction from the fans. Like I said, Sami's dancing in the ring. Owens enters. He's pumped as hell. It's not the word I use, but I try to keep this PG. But he's pumped. Referee is Jessica Carr, and Logan Paul sits outside. Bell rings, powerbomb immediately by KO. Zayn rolls to the outside. KO dominates early on, including an early cannonball, goes for the frog splash, but Sami rolls to the outside. So Sami's very smart in the ring in this match, where all of a sudden he knows what's coming from Kevin Owens, so he'll roll out to the ring quite a few times during the match here. Sami with a ring apron brain buster, and then he takes the offense from there. Back and forth by both men. Logan Paul looks to have fallen asleep at one point, so he was nodding off. I don't know if that's his character, who he is, if he was legitimately bored, whatever the case it was. He looked like he had been nodding off, and the camera just kind of caught the tail end of it there. Sami with a haluva kick, a jaw jack. So when I say jaw jack, he's mouthing off. Owens with a super kick. Then he starts mouthing off, and then basically Owens looks at him. He goes, "You did this," hits the stunner in a 3 count. Owens celebrates. Logan Paul goes to check on Sami. Paul goes to shake Owens' hand. Sami takes offense. Logan shoves down Sami. Paul makes fun of Sami. Sami leaves the ring. Paul raises Kevin Owens' hand. So at this point, Owens is kind of getting that look on his face, like, hey, you're about to get a stunner. And Owens with second thoughts, stunner to Paul. And then, I don't know if it was, Owens has that attitude where I can make fun of this guy, but you're not allowed to. And obviously the history between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But like I said, Logan Paul ends up getting a stunner. Owens celebrates ringside, and then Paul is completely out of it, sitting on the ring apron there as the referees are tending to him. And I put note as well, no pirate ship jump for KO, which kind of sucked. But I was thinking about, it's last year it was anything goes with regards to Seth Rollins, because they had the match, and then all of a sudden they recontinued the match, and they recontinued the match as a no DQ, I think it was. But this one, it was just a plain straight wrestling match, but no pirate ship jump for KO. Backstage, we go to the great Khali, who's actually there. And then we Rajin Singh, who's his former manager, Riddle and RVD in the same segment. And RVD's there handing out rolling papers. Then we had a Night Panther commercial. So Night Panther's all over this WrestleMania. Match number 4 of the night, Riddle taking on Sheamus. Back and forth match early on. Spanish fly off the top by Riddle. Riddle looked like his lower body took the worst of it. So when he hit that Spanish fly, normally the one guy lands, and the guy who's hitting the move it goes left or right. Riddle looks like he landed straight on Sheamus as he's coming down, and like I said, his lower body took the hit, took the worst of it there. Riddle from the outside in, bro kick by Sheamus for a 2 count. Sheamus calls Riddle an idiot. You could actually hear it. Alabama slam, 2 count. Match to the outside, Riddle with the offense. Back inside, Riddle with a twisting senton for a 2 count. Submission by Riddle, Sheamus counter, Riddle counter. So they're going back and forth at this point. Sheamus white noise attempt, climbing the ropes. Riddle blocked. Sheamus back up. He slipped. But he was about to hit the white noise off the off the second turnbuckle there, but he slipped, ends up hitting the white noise anyways, and then goes up top, hits a top rope knee drop. So he knee from the top rope just to kind of balance the move out, because like I said, he ended up slipping there. Only for a 2 count though. Riddle with a moonsault attempt off the second rope. Sheamus with a bro kick while Riddle is in midair. That looked absolutely phenomenal. 3 count, and we get a new United States champion in Sheamus. Sheamus at the end celebrates at the top of the ramp. Riddle down and out. He's bloodied at the mouth. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that up, follow that up with regards to Raw tonight. Again, Drew McIntyre, no title. Sheamus now with a title. It'll be interesting to see if they feud over the U.S. title there, depending on whether or not they continue with that feud between them. But anyways, it was a good match. Promo. So we get a video promo. Triple H gives props to Bad Bunny. States he needs to do what he does best. And then Bad Bunny tour announced for 2022. So it's a send-off for Bad Bunny officially by the WWE. The video's online, so you guys can check that out on YouTube. Match number 5 of the night. Big E taking on Apollo Crews. Greg Hamilton announces Wale. Wale performs Big E's entrance. Big E with Florida orange and green colors coming out. Drums and weapons surround the ring, as well as a big old symbol. When I say symbol, like one of the gong type things, I guess. Where we hear both grab kendo sticks to start the match. Big E with a spear through the ropes early on. Apollo to follow up with a DVD on the ring apron. Apollo grabs the ring steps, attempts to sandwich Big E in between them, but Big E moves. Big E hits the Uranagi on the steps outside the ring. That looked horrible for Apollo there. Apollo recovers outside. Big E sets up a table on the inside of the ring. Apollo kendo sticks attacks on Big E. Frog splash misses through the table, though. Big E with a big ending. And then all of a sudden we see Dabakato. I don't know if they've changed his name. They didn't reference it, but Dabakato comes in on behalf of Apollo. He breaks up the pin. Huge head blow, choke slam, 3 count by Apollo, and then we get a new Intercontinental Champion with regards to Apollo Crews. Announcers do not refer to Kato by name, by the way, so it's be interesting to see how they play that up on SmackDown this coming Friday. Night 1 recap video is shown. Hall of Fame 2021 video recap is shown, and then we get the 2021 Hall of Fame inductees honored on the stage, and Kane's the last one out and does the whole Kane gimmick there. So it was pretty cool for Kane and the rest of them to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Long overdue, I got to say that. Match number 6 of the night, semi-main event, Asuka taking on Rhea Ripley. We got Ash Costello performing live. Rhea enters first, and she's hyped, and she's in the ring, and she's continuously telling Ash to continuously play her theme song, but she's jacked. She's ready to go. Asuka enters. Mike Rome does the intros. Realize the ref. What did I put here? Realize the ref and think this great. Realize the ref and think. Oh, that's what I meant. So there's a referee that's on Raw that I'm not a big fan of, and he refereed this match, and he's made tremendous mistakes continuously over the past couple of years. And nothing against him personally, but as far as him being a referee goes, he sucks. And that's what I had put is, this referee is refereeing this match. But that was it. He actually didn't do too bad. I mean, there's nothing else I followed up with, I don't believe. I could go through my notes here. But anyways, back and forth in the beginning, Rhea takes over with the power. Rhea, with disrespectful confidence, slaps Asuka in the back of the head while locking her in a body scissors. Rhea continues her dominance. Rhea suplex from the top, blocked by Asuka. Missile drop kick by Asuka. Asuka 2 count after a hip attack. She goes to the top, drop kick by Rhea. Asuka down. Rhea capitalizes. Asuka comeback DDT on Rhea off the apron to the outside. Rhea gets back into the ring at the count of 7. Asuka was a sliding knee. Caught by Rhea, though. She sets up what looks like Garvin Stomp. So Rugged Ronnie Garvin, anybody who knows that name. Garvin Stomp's taking place. Standing cloverleaf, but she doesn't spin her. She locks her in the move. Asuka ends up countering. Submission game by Asuka. Ripley ends up countering, and then Ripley hits the Riptide out of nowhere and then crowns a new Raw Women's Champion there. So Rhea Ripley is officially the Raw Women's Champion. Crowd's going nuts. She's celebrating in the ring. If you check out the photos on Twitter, WB.com, you can see just the pure emotion in Rhea Ripley, and great match between the two of them, but a lot of heavy offense by Rhea Ripley. So Asuka made her look, incredibly strong in this victory by Rhea Ripley there. We get an Orton Fiend recap, which was kind of weird, kind of just why was that match? Why did they decide to be like, hey, we're going to recap this match almost towards the main event there? But anyways, they did. Rant promo. So Hogan, I almost said Hollywood Hulk Hogan, NWO, but Hulk Hogan, Titus, Bayley, and then the Bella Twins. So it's no appearance by Becky Lynch, no appearance by Charlotte Flair, and Bayley was true to her form with the annoying character she performed all weekend, so to speak. But then we get a promo for the main event. They're throwing relevance to WrestleMania 30. Can Daniel Bryan do it again? Daniel Bryan enters first. Edge is out next. Roman Reigns comes out with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso by his side with the tribal lays over their heads. Charles Robinson is the referee, which is kind of cool. So it gets the main event here. I still want to punch Greg Hamilton in the head for his pronunciation. You've heard me talk on past shows with regards to Greg Hamilton. Nothing against him personally, but I cannot stand the way he does his intros. So yeah, I put a few more words in that sentence, but yeah, not a big fan of Greg Hamilton's announcing. Back and forth by all three early on. Edge and Reigns added spear attempts by both. They end up failing. Bryan back into attack both. Bryan with knees to both. Yes lock on Roman, but he's broken up by Edge. Bryan yes lock on Edge, but broken up by Roman. Outside, Roman powerbomb through the table to Bryan. Edge running spear on Roman. So they are all over the place in this match. Edge chair into the ring. Chair toss, but it breaks into pieces. And cross-faced by Edge with the chair piece. So as he's tossed this one chair in the ring, it pretty much explodes, and he takes this one piece of the chair and then locks in a crossface and uses that piece of the chair in the crossface on Roman, which is absolutely cool. And you can check out the pictures, like I said, WWE.com. Bryan back in the ring, yes lock on Reigns, headbutts by Edge and Bryan to break up the submission. So Bryan capitalizes. So I explained this. At one point, they're double submission on Roman Reigns. So Edge has got the crossface locked in. Bryan's like, the heck with it, I'm going to do this too. So it's almost like if Roman Reigns had tapped out at that point, who wins? We have like a double champion. And the one time I can reference that was basically The Undertaker and Kane way back at 1998 at In Your House I went to in Hamilton, and the same thing happened where they beat up on Stone Cold. So it almost happened here with Roman. Bryan So like I said, headbutts by Edge and with Bryan to break up the submission. Bryan capitalizes, kick to the face by Bryan on Edge. Yes, running knee by Bryan, spear by Edge, Superman attempt by Roman Reigns. So they're all over the place once again. Spear by Edge, 2 count broken up by Daniel Bryan. Edge grabs multiple steel chairs, attacks Bryan, goes into the ring, destroys both Bryan and Reigns with chairs, hits the concerto to Bryan, tries to hit the concerto to Roman, but he's blocked by Jey Uso at this point. And I got to bring my notes up. Where am I here? Yeah, goes for the concerto on Roman, but it's blocked by Jey Uso. Uso gets beat down by Edge. Roman recovers, destroys Edge with the chair, hits a concerto of his own, drapes Edge on Bryan, and then pins them both at the very same time to show his dominance. So fireworks take place, Reigns celebrates, and Cole, a lot of exclamation marks, Cole gets the call right. And interesting enough, 2 things came out of WrestleMania Night 1 that were talked about. Number 1 was Dana Brooke, obviously. Number 2 was Michael Cole screwing up that call. And then when I was reading that report with regards to it, especially I think it was from the New York Post, and I was telling my wife about it, I said they're going to fix this in post. And obviously from the article that I'd read with regards to Michael Cole, it was basically him missing the call, Corey Graves correcting him. Cole apparently went silent for a good 10 seconds and then made the call properly. So to me, like I said, in post, they're going to forget about Cole making that call. They're basically going to throw that 10-second late audio into it. So when you hear, basically, who is it? Who am I referring to? Too many names I'm thinking about right now, but Bianca Belair winning not last night, but a Saturday night. You're going to make sure that you're going to hear that proper call to go along with it. So, and I'm pretty sure if you check out the WWE Network right now, it's probably on there. I haven't checked yet, but anyways, guys, it was a long weekend of wrestling, but night 2 was absolutely amazing. And like I said, they established dominance with Roman Reigns, pinning them both at the same time, Daniel Bryan and Edge. And Edge, unfortunately, does not come out as the new Universal Champion. And it's sad, but it's interesting to see where they're going to go with it with regards to SmackDown this coming Friday, like I said. So every recap show, I always do this. I always do my match of the night, as well as my wrestler of the night. Match of the night is the main event. Roman Reigns taking on Daniel Bryan, taking on Edge. I can't argue with that at all. It was an amazing match. Could have went any single way at all. And the fact is the way the chairs were used, the good pin by Roman Reigns there to establish himself as the head of the table, so to speak. Match of the night. Roman Reigns taking on Daniel Bryan, taking on Edge. Wrestler of the night. I can't argue with this. I got to go Rhea Ripley. She took it to Asuka. She looked strong, and she's going to be a dominant champion as far as Monday Night Raw goes. And I can see challengers upon challengers upon challengers getting in there to try to take that championship away from her. Becky Lynch for sure, as well as Charlotte Flair. So it's going to be interesting there. But Raya Ripley is my wrestler of the night. And as always, guys, check me out at Chris Maloney CWN on social media. If you've enjoyed the recaps, enjoyed the prediction shows, let me know. I love doing them, and it's just an added bonus to add to CWNonline.ca. With regards to Monday Night Raw tonight, new commentary team. So Adnan Virk, I want to say I pronounced that right, joins WB as new voice of Monday Night Raw. Article came out this morning. WB today announced that Adnan Virk will make his debut as the new play-by-play voice on Monday Night Raw tonight at 8 o'clock on USA Network, as well as Sportsnet 360 here in Canada. News was first reported by Richard Deitch, I want to say, of The Athletic, with details on Virk's path to the WWE. And then it goes on to say that Virk will be joined at ringside for every Monday Night Raw by analyst Corey Graves, who's switching over to Raw now, who began his commentating career back in 2014. Hard to believe, 7 years ago, Corey Graves went to commentary. And has distinguished himself with a unique style and opinionated insights. And then analyst Byron Saxton, a veteran with more than a decade experience behind the microphone as well. So like I said, the commentary team now for Raw is Adnan Virk as lead, Corey Graves alongside with him, and then Byron Saxton with him as well. The article goes on to say Tom Phillips will become the new host of 205 Live and oversee special products for WWE's programming on Peacock. He's also remains in his role as senior manager of on-air talent. And it says Samoa Joe remains part of the WWE talent roster. So it looks like Samoa Joe is officially done as far as a commentator goes, which I enjoyed. There was a Slam Wrestling that posted something today with regards to the announcement. And, it reminded me of back in the day when I used to love Bobby the Brain Heenan and Jesse the Bonaventura, as well as Gorilla Monsoon. Even Vince McMahon back in the day was okay. And then Lord Alfred Hayes, those guys there. So it'd be interesting. I read up a little bit about Virk as well. And he's quite the story behind him with regards to ESPN and what happened there. But you know what? He's I don't know if he's Canadian or just I don't know if he was born in Canada, but I know he was raised in Canada. He went to Ryerson University, so it's a little bit biased with regards to being a fan of his already. So I'll leave it at that. But guys, it's been great. If you haven't seen WrestleMania, what's wrong with you? Go out and enjoy it. Go watch it. Check out my match of the night, the main event, obviously, and then last night on Saturday night was Bianca Belair winning the title here. And I'm rambling almost 30 minutes in for a recap show. But guys, thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, hit up the like, hit up the subscribe buttons there, and check me out on social media at Chris Maloney CWN. So that is it for WrestleMania 37 Night 2 recap. I will be back this coming Friday for episode number 35 of CWN Weekly. And until then, check me out, CWNonline.ca, at Chris Maloney CWN on social media. And guys, that is it. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see everybody again on Friday. Thank you very much. Take care, and we will talk again sometime soon.